You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13. I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America Presents Chasing the Saturdays, Episode 2.
In our ongoing mission to translate British pop culture for America, we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the e-reality show that follows British-Irish girl group, The Saturdays, as they try to crack America.
From making many Skype calls home to specifically packing Ribena to drink in LA.
I am Ben.
I am Fraser.
Fraser Light Razor.
And this is Chasing the Saturdays. Woo! I will note just quickly that on the previously on, they did use the instrumentals for Notorious and Ego.
Yeah, we're finally getting some actual
Yeah.
Sats music.
Little concerned about who they put in charge of the previously on Chasing the Saturdays. It was Frankie and Vanessa. Not our strongest players in terms of kind of sound bites.
I also think that some of the clips they used weren't in the previous episode.
I fully believe that. I want to just, retroactively say that we need to go back in and just get Rochelle to do all of the kind of lines for that. She really is. I'm going to do a lot of stuff about how much I love Rochelle in this episode, but she's the safest pair of hands when it comes to talking publicly, I think.
Yeah. That's how she landed her Richard and Judy gig, isn't it?
Her and Marv.
Okay, so this episode, hashtag Sats, Cries, and Videotapes. Huh?
Well, it's a incredibly shoehorned
Of sex
lies and
videotapes.
videotapes that doesn't make any sense.
No, also the rule is with a pun, you can only change one bit.
Right. There's sex, but there's no lies and no videotape. And I get the cries makes sense.
Yeah.
Sats and cries is fine, but the videotapes is completely... Well, I
Yeah.
guess they are making a video, so it's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I just worked that out in real time.
Because we have the Saturdays, we have crying, and we have a video.
That's actually genius.
Okay, good.
Okay, do you know what? Well done, everyone. Peter Lorraine, I apologize for that.
This is the most thought that anyone's had about this hashtag.
So we whoosh back into Los Angeles via lots of different places. And where do we land?
Well, I'm calling this section Day Off.
And me too.
Well, we've got some fake paps.
Or fake pappers, as I put them in my notes.
Pappers? They've definitely 100% added the camera shutter sound effects.
Absolutely.
In post.
And the paps capturing some really, really kind of insane footage of the girls going, oh, where should we go now? Oh, we go across the street over there. Just 5 gals out shopping.
Off they go to...
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Kitson! They went there in 24/7.
Yep, they did.
Actually, I think there's a moment where they walk in and one of them goes, oh, yeah. As if to say, I remember this place.
Been here before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the gals start trotting around Kitson, and this is where Frankie says, what was really fun is we got to meet some of our American fans. I was like, much like the Paps being paid from petty cash, Peter Lorraine was outside Kitson just popping those little brown envelopes of cash to some different people. Going to talk to them.
I believe that they're also saying, our fans in America are very young. All these kids are coming up to them. So I believe that these people genuinely were coming up to them. But it's 5 girls with a camera crew.
Yeah, and like funny accents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you would just, people would be interested. People would ask for like a selfie or an autograph, but without knowing who they were.
Yeah, especially Robertson Boulevard and Kitson at that time. It's such a kind of just go along and see who you can see, isn't it?
Exactly. Molly makes a really creepy joke at the end of the set.
About little child Kai.
Yeah, about like being set up with a 4-year-old.
Yeah, that was...
Because she's the only single member of the Sats.
Yeah, a rare misstep for Molly.
Yeah. It's like,
I'd say she's also shining pretty bright this episode, apart from that one uncomfortable kind of joke that she made. So let's move on from that.
Finally, we get to see the opening credits.
We do. I made some very extensive notes. Do you want to hear them?
You go for it.
Titles. Fun. That's the end of the notes.
I'll say I was taking a sip of LaCroix when you said
You
that.
thought I was going to really go into it there, didn't you?
So what they did here is they use the footage from episode 1 to go with their individual intros here. So in episode 1, where it's like, I'm Molly, I'm the Cinderella, blah, 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 and they have all that footage, they then just shoehorn it into this tight sequence.
Although we didn't see Molly in the rain with the
We
umbrella.
didn't see Molly in the rain, but we did see Molly in the bouncy castle and Vanessa doing shots.
Yes. Our girl Vanessa. Oh, we're going to have a look. I mean, there's a name that comes up in this episode that I can't wait for us to get to. So the gals are going to have some pool time, and there's a very misplaced use of All Fired Up to show them in the pool. It's really not the right dynamic footage to go with that song.
So they're now in the rooftop pool of the new build apartments. It's a nice pool.
It is. It's such a downtown LA rooftop pool, isn't it?
Yeah. Those chairs that are shaped in that kind of curved, slightly cheesy style, but very comfy.
Yeah. I really liked baby girl Eva Bell's whole look here. She's in a little pink ring, wearing like a little red hat that makes her look like a strawberry. I was like, baby girl Eva Bell doing the best work of everyone in this scene.
So my theory now is with this building is that it's just been built, but they haven't leased any of the apartments yet.
Right.
And they've managed to sneak in some filming.
Yes, I think so. And I think anyone we see in the building in that next pool scene is paid extras.
Oh, 100% those are extras.
Not one face was blurred.
So.
And we need to talk about that one extra in her magazine work, but we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. So we hear that the girls are going to be shooting the What About Us music video. So I retract what I said in episode 1. What About Us hasn't been released yet.
No.
So they're about to peak with their number 1. Now, while this is being said, there's a shot of 2 of them looking at a paper leaflet.
I think they were choosing lunch from a menu.
I wondered about that. I was like, is the building, is there like a lunch
And did you
thing?
notice, because Molly had a little notebook and a pen, so I think she was taking lunch orders.
Oh.
Me falling in love with Molly, this episode this is what happened. I found love in this episode, and her name is Molly King.
Girls, can I take your orders?
Yeah, she's just the sweetest person, and I actually believe her. Also, let's not gloss over the fact that Molly and Una have a swimming race, and Molly's kind of just tropping along with her sunglasses on, and Una does a genuinely impressive kind of front crawl, almost like Olympic swimming, to get to the other side of the pool.
She do butterfly.
Yeah, I get a feeling she definitely was some kind of Irish swimming champion, like for sure. I feel like we heard that in 24/7. I'm pretty sure at one point Mary was talking about all her achievements.
Her name's not Mary.
What did I say?
It's Anne.
Marianne.
Marianne.
We heard Marianne saying that, she was like the top swimmer in Ireland or something. I believe it.
Yeah, there was something.
Yeah, Tipperary County champion or something.
Didn't she roller skate up and down the street?
Well, that too. She did that to Michael Jackson. But I also think she's, like the Tipperary champion swimmer as well.
Speaking of Una's many, many skills, there's this weird button at the end here where she's like, girls, watch me do my sexy moves.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on?
Rochelle also tells a huge lie where she talks about shooting the video and she says, it's just really hard with coming up with this stuff to get all 5 of us on the same page. I was like, you don't have any say in the creatives of this thing.
I know.
What are you on about?
Yeah.
But, I get it. She had to do it.
You might get to pick a shoe
out
of 2 options.
Yeah, completely. A belt.
So, now this episode really is full of scenelets.
Yes.
So many little tiny, just little...
Yeah. All broken up with footage from around LA where we see many sites of LA, but always end up back in downtown at the same building.
Yeah.
So we flash to Santa Monica for no reason for some exterior shots, and then we're back in the penthouse. Who's Vanessa calling?
Well, I've called this scenelet, Vanessa calls Gary on her BlackBerry.
Oh, Gary.
So yes, this is Vanessa's boyfriend. We see some pictures of Gary. Gary's hot.
He's hot.
Gary is hot. And then we hear, so she's trying to call Gary on her voicemail. Oh, sorry, trying to call Gary on her BlackBerry. It rings, and then it goes to like a fake voicemail that's been constructed somewhere.
Yeah, in the edit.
Yeah.
I think that she's getting the time zones wrong. Because that LA to UK time difference can be a little hard to get your head around before you unless you live here.
But you've only really got up until about 1 p.m.
Yeah, you've got the moment you wake up until about 1 p.m.
Till like lunch.
Yeah, the only time I hear from people after 1 p.m. is when they've been out and they're on their way home.
It's like, ooh.
Sloppy. She's has a very nice bit of set dressing in this scene. Did you see the pillow next to her that said love on it?
Oh.
Because she's in love with Gary. Gary.
That's good. That's the theme of the... Okay, got it.
I don't know if people in the US could truly understand how much of what type of name Gary is and what it evokes, but it's just... A Gary is a Gary.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it.
Like Gary Barlow.
All right, Gary.
Gary Gaz.
Gaz. Oh, I've been calling him Gaz a lot through this episode.
Gaz.
Don't think that's the last we're going to hear of Gary. We don't really hear much from him or see him, but he looms large over this episode.
So we then have this next scene I've called video director meeting.
Yes. With Sarah Chatfield.
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 So I looked her up. I'm sure you did too.
Of course.
She also did the Lily Allen Alfie video. We talked about that song recently. We
Yeah.
do not support it. I do
support her.
Support her. I do support Kelly Rowland's motivation
Yes.
video. I love that song.
Great song, great video.
Whatever. Don't you dare slow down.
Oh.
There you go. Now, I want to describe the visual of this scene. It's all 5 gals along one side of a table that has a white paper tablecloth over it and a row of unlabeled water bottles.
Yeah, and the color scheme is overwhelmingly taupe.
Yeah.
The room is taupe. They all seem to be wearing some kind of taupe shades.
Yeah, there's like a taupe vase,
Yeah.
translation vase in the background. Okay, so what's
lot
going
of
on?
taupe. Well, at this point, Sarah's kind of pitching the video to them, and it's she's like, it's, a group of gals out in LA, like doing their thing. We're gonna be like walking around, we're gonna then you're gonna break into a baseball field and like really just go crazy.
I mean, there couldn't be less of a concept.
No, it's we're in Los Angeles. We've got a permit to shoot in 2 locations in the valley,
And we're gonna do
and
it.
we're gonna do it. Heat wave be damned. So at this point, who's it? Frankie says she likes the idea of breaking in because it's kind of cheeky.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dead cheeky. That's what the girls are.
Oh, so they're talking about being more grown up.
Yeah, Vanessa shoots down the idea of being on roller skates because she wants to look more grown up.
Got it.
Molly's like, oh, that sounds fun, and she goes, no, we want to be more grown up. Also, is this post Disco Love? No, this is pre Disco Love, where they are literally on roller skates. Apart from Frankie, never forget. Frankie
She's in the ice cream van.
sits in the ice cream van because she's pregnant.
I like Molly. It is funny when Molly pitches the idea like, oh, when we break into the baseball field, there'll be people in the middle of a game, and we'll all just say, hiya. Everyone's like, what?
She had the beginnings of a good idea. It was like if there's like hot guys playing baseball,
Yeah.
which is kind of what they end up being. Or like there definitely was some men in the background of that part of the video.
Yes, because there's this.
But she
a
made
moment-
it sound like it's children playing baseball. Tough episode for Molly.
Yeah.
At this point,
Uh-oh, what's that noise?
I can't remember how a BlackBerry rings.
I can't
Certainly not a
remember.
BBM notification.
Yeah, it's just a very specific noise. That BlackBerry is a buzzing, isn't it?
The looming dark spectre that is Gary looms up into the taupe meeting room.
Yeah, so Vanessa is getting a call on her BlackBerry from Gary, but she can't take it because she's
No.
eating.
Ugh, she seems very upset about it, and I think we're really going to hear a lot about that throughout the rest of this episode. Okay, so we're going to whoosh around Los Angeles once more.
Now, this next scene.
Who's calling? Someone's
I
calling.
think it's Marv. It's
I saw
Marvin.
Marv.
Now, this scene I've called Accidental Spawn. I know you've picked it up.
Oh, yes, of course I did.
So Rochelle is she's on a Skype with Marv. That noise.
So she talks about how she came to this trip to LA came a week after she got married to Marvin. So she's kind of like, we didn't even get a proper honeymoon. And then as she's talking to him, there's just a wonderful cutaway of her pouring quite a strong portion of Ribena, strong serving of Ribena. And we've tried to explain Ribena a lot to Americans because they don't really have cordial here.
No.
It's all very different because they start talking, if you try and bring it up to them, they will start talking about Kool-Aid and powders, and it just doesn't translate.
It's like if you ever worked in a bar or a cafe and they've got fountain drinks,
Yeah.
or like that gun, it's like the syrup
Yes.
that is then mixed with the water.
Yes, it's you just have a bottle of syrup that you put into a cup and then you mix it with water. And this is a black currant flavored drink that is iconic for children and people who can't grow out of their childhood in the UK.
Also, clearly not available in LA.
Oh, she brought that with her from
She
home.
100% bought that.
They all got told to make sure you bring the things that you're going to miss. So there's tea bags in those suitcases.
Yeah.
She threw in a Ribena.
Maybe what else would be in there? Maybe like a Whisper. Or
Whisper,
something.
Marmite, a Flake.
Marmite, Flake. I'm just worried. Imagine if that Ribena had-
Exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's got a lot of taupe. There's been a lot of those taupe garments would be ruined.
Like, how sticky would that be? Oh, anyway.
Yeah, so she talks to Marvin about how this is another terrible plot line from this episode that I don't care about, and it's the couple having sex next to her, which doesn't exist. It's all completely made up.
Yeah, she's saying the apartment next door are having really loud sex. This is not a real storyline at all.
What did you think about Rochelle's framing for her Skype call? Very odd. Marvin was sitting in a regular interview style, so he was like head and shoulders looking at the camera. She'd set up the laptop like on the surface on the side and was standing really far back from it, because I looked in the little corner of the screen and she was like a speck on that call. Like she looked like she was standing on the other side of the room. It's like, Rochelle, what are you doing? I was long before getting used to those video calls.
I was too distracted by on the counter there was a box that looked like it was from Joe Malone.
Oh, lovely.
So I was like, now was this a welcome gift?
Probably.
Or was this, I've got to have my candles?
Actually, that's much more likely.
Because if there's
a Ribena and a Joe Malone.
Yeah. If there's one thing that makes me feel at home, it's just lighting that Joe Malone candle. Back to the UK.
So my final note for this scene is they were kind of talking and I wasn't listening, and I just put, Marvin and Rochelle really made it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Felt really happy for them.
Also, I noted that Marvin, when he flashes his wedding ring, it's very diamondy.
Yeah.
It's got
Dead blingy.
Yeah, dead blingy. Right. Should we do some work?
So, it's a video shoot, day 1. Vanessa's wearing a great green like power blazer in her interview, which I noticed. And she's talking about how, this video is going to be shooting. She's really distracted by Gary. And I said, this video's got a real extra layer to it now. I'm going to watch it back and always know that it's got the cold, dark hand of Gary on its shoulder.
Like a BlackBerry ringtone muted in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's saying like, just, I'm going to really try and focus. But the Gary situation's distracting me. I just wrote, sure. Fine. Yeah. Also, we didn't mention when we whooshed around all the shots to get to the music video, we whooshed around and there was genuinely a whoosh sound effect. So I went, whoosh. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're very much in the valley at this point.
Yeah.
we're deep in the heart of Sherman Oaks.
I've written in capitals, Frankie's in a hat.
She is.
Hats are back.
Yeah, that's her thing for this video.
Yeah.
She's got a fun hat. There's a line in What About Us that I have an alternate, like a kind of alternate for, and it's what I sing and hear. And I can't remember the lead up to it, but it's basically a line where they say, let's switch roles. And I say, make a Swiss roll. And I promise you'll never hear anything different again.
I think.
Make a Swiss roll and I'll take the lead. And now I just always think about, because I bet the 5 of them would have a great time making a Swiss roll.
They would really.
Too much jam, Vanessa.
Well, we all know that the only one who would do a good job
Rochelle.
But no.
Molly.
Remember from the fajita night in 24/7? It was only one of them took it seriously.
Who was it?
It was our girl Una.
Oh, of
she made
course.
that apple crumble.
Oh, of course.
That Mexican apple crumble.
Of course, I forgot about the apple crumble. I just feel like I trust Rochelle to make a Swiss roll. I just think she'd be able to follow the instructions properly.
Yeah. So
anyway,
we are filming a shot where they're walking down the street. There's a really shit cutaway of 3 onlookers.
Yeah, like,
all blurred. No, but all blurred.
Yeah.
I'm like, why have you even used this shot?
Yeah.
It's crap. So we're told there's a heat wave in the valley where they're shooting.
Of course.
It's 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which equals, I looked it up, 43 degrees
fucking hell.
C. That's hot.
That's out of control.
Imagine, and also Frankie's in a hat.
Yeah, I said you should have filmed this in November, you fools. Obviously, they had no control over that, but that's the valley especially is always much hotter than anywhere else anyway.
That heat gets trapped.
I should have filmed it downtown.
Oh no, because heat gets trapped downtown as well.
Should have
All that
filmed it in Santa
concrete.
Monica.
There you go. Film it in the coast.
Film it on that damn coast.
Una says, you definitely fry an egg on a car in this heat.
And then I laughed out loud when I saw where their like kind of breakout thing was, their like rest area. It's in like a closed Mediterranean restaurant on like the street in Sherman Oaks. So the girls are all sitting around to kind of like empty restaurant tables like, whoa. And Una just goes, my back is dripping.
Wow, if they're so hot, it's good because the next scene, they're going to go to a pool, aren't they?
Yep, they are in I said actually, Ben, you're a pool connoisseur in Los Angeles. Did you recognize this one? We think this must be in the valley somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
some sort of community center in the valley. I do love a local pool.
But yeah, you're not so well versed in the valley ones.
No. But yeah, they're by a pool, but I've just written, it looks dead hot.
Yeah.
They're just like, the heat pipe, and also they're not even like they can't even get into it. No, they're just like sitting by the water on concrete.
The hottest way to be, with all the heat reflecting up.
Oh,
I will say though, when they showed the clips from the video, they all looked very like glistening in like a good way. Everyone looked very like glowy and nice, but that must have been very miserable and very hard to like have energy. Yeah. It's very like being in the sun really zaps you, doesn't it? Well, we know that when they drive to the next location. Oh no, it's in between the street and the pool where there's that shot of them in the van, isn't there? They're all just like completely.
I sent you that picture of Rochelle, like comatose.
They're all asleep for like 20 minutes in the car. And then we get a complete non-storyline of being infested with bees. I believe it's one bee.
Well, I got real PTSD with this. I got the flashback to the horsefly that bit Molly.
Well, yeah,
remember,
that's true.
Statues 24/7.
Literally took her out of performing. Yeah. She was on crutches.
She couldn't make it to the office.
And then a member of the video crew quite deftly catches the bee in his bare hands and like releases it over a wall.
Really?
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. I was like, you go.
Right.
Now, I thought this was video shoot day 2, but I'm very confused by the timeline. This is just a day off in between, isn't it? I'm not sure where we're at in space and time here.
There's some jiggery pokery going on here. Because they're like, we've got a time off in between shooting like part 1 in the music video. This scene, so I've called it pool lounging.
Yes.
I actually recorded just a little bit of the sound of the scene at the very beginning.
I wonder if it's going to be what I just sent you.
Okay, well, this is what I recorded. So this scene I'm calling pool lounging. They're all sitting by the pool. This is just some real... this sums up the Saturdays.
What did you get, Miles? It's like an Americano. That's disgusting. I've been really tired recently.
So, what did you get, Moles?
Well, it's funny.
It's an Americano. That's disgusting. I've been really tired recently.
Oh, that's so annoying. I sent you it. I wrote it out as a script and I wanted us to play Vanessa and Molly, but never mind. We'll just do it as a sound clip.
I love how we've just both really like pinpointed the same thing.
Did it literally like a script for you, but never mind.
What did you get, Moles?
Do you see what was on Molly's top?
And what was it?
It had writing and it said, "My boyfriend's the pool boy." Huh?
How old's that poor boy, Molly?
Yeah, you're right. This is very. I retract what I said about loving Molly this episode. She's being very problematic.
I love just a scene opening where they're like talking about what you're drinking, and then someone being like, "I'm tired."
Yes. So, God, we have to really indulge in this fake storyline here where Rochelle's talking about how she hasn't got any sleep, and they're like, "Oh, is it those people still having sex next to you?" Let's talk about these extras that they pay to sit on the rooftop. Most importantly, let's talk about the woman with the magazine.
So the woman pretending to read, I think it's LA magazine.
Yes.
Like Los Angeles magazine.
Which is definitely free in the lobby of this building.
Yeah, and a PA has been like, oh shit, and like grabbed it and given it to her. I wouldn't have been surprised if there was a shot of her holding it upside down.
Yeah, completely. Do you want to hear one of my deep theories about that? I think it was Una.
What?
I think that was Una.
What?
As like a fun, like that story about that woman from Baywatch that attended her own character's funeral in disguise.
No.
Okay, so remember the woman in Baywatch with the short hair?
Yes.
So that she died in the show, and then they gave her like a wig, and in her character's funeral, she's in the audience in like a blonde wig with sunglasses on.
That's fun.
And I believe I think that was Una, because that woman was wearing a hat, sunglasses, she had her legs like tucked right in so you couldn't like see anything of her, and she was holding that magazine directly in front of her face like the whole time. So I think it was like a fun moment for the girls. Una was like, "Do you want to play a little prank on them?" That's my theory.
No, I think more like an extra didn't turn up.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Peter Lorraine just slipped her $20 from petty cash to do it.
I'll do it for 20. So, yeah, and then this scene ends with Vanessa shouting at everyone, being like, "Who's been having loud sex in the 4th floor?"
And even though this is a fake scene, I really did enjoy that Molly and Rochelle's reaction was to just get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Very British. They were like so embarrassed. They just got up and they didn't say anything. They just got up and just walked away.
Someone's making a loud scene.
Vanessa was just cackling in the pool.
Yeah. Eject.
Oh, God. So we're going to go to a dance rehearsal now. We've got a very odd moment, which I think they must have done because of filming, but it seemed very annoying that Rochelle was on the phone on loudspeaker in the car to Marvin. I was like, I get that they want to get two sides of the conversation, but it's very inconsiderate to everyone in that van having to hear her and Marv do their boring domestic chat.
Wait, so is that on the way to the dance rehearsal?
Yeah.
And then Marvin's talking about he's driving home from work. And I was like, what, the JLS office?
Yeah. At this point, Vanessa's just like looking very sad because she's not been able to speak to Gary. I've decided that's how he sounds. Gary.
All right, Gary.
But yeah, and then Rochelle says, she says, I speak to Marvin all day long. It doesn't matter if I wake him up at 3 a.m. I was like, oh, how fun for him.
Yeah. Vanessa, you hearing that? You feeling shit about yourself?
Yeah.
So they're rehearsing for the dance part of the music video. As I said, there's definitely jiggery-pokery going on with the timeline because you'd film a whole music video back to back.
Yeah, you would not have a day off in between.
Yeah, you wouldn't like break the crew.
No. It's complete lies.
Noted Rochelle is in black ballet pumps.
Choreographer's wearing a puka shell necklace.
Oh, lovely. And the choreography I've described as limp.
And I have noted yet again that by episode 10 of this, you and I will know the choreography for What About Us.
Sure.
I'm going to try see if I can find the most clear video of the choreography. I think we can learn it. I know we can. You and me used to do dance classes together. We did way more complicated dances than this.
100%. I'll put on my black ballet pumps and we'll do it.
Before it gets sad, I want to just say how I described this because I was having some fun. I said Vanessa tries to get Gaza on the blower.
I've what they did in the episodes, they split this up. They did a bit of a cliffhang, didn't they? They started the scene, then went to a commercial break and came back. So it's a little bit messy. But you see a quick clip of Vanessa scurrying away and hiding behind what kind of looks like a giant filing cabinet beside some bins. And she's saying to Gary, this is my exact point the other day. I don't know when I can speak to you. It's real.
Yeah, that was a real moment. Really breaking through the chasing the sats bullshit, wasn't it? It was like, oh, okay, we're getting something.
So we come back after the break and she's still on that call and she's saying, I've got to go back to work.
Back to the office.
Yeah, back to the office. So.
And Molly trots over and finds her crying, like she's finished the phone call, she's crying. And I put, Molly's a real doll, isn't she?
I know. In all senses of the word.
Yeah.
Vanessa's crying behind that giant filing cabinet next to the bins. Molly hugs her and Rochelle comes over and Rochelle says, oh, friend. Which I thought was so fun.
Yeah.
Yes, they tried to talk to her about Gary, and one of them says that her and Gary have had a bit of a to-do.
That was, yeah. I think that was Una. Because then Una gives her the advice. She said, well, you've got to cry it out. You've got to get the emotions out. And she says in an interview that they're all like sisters, so they feel things for each other. Just sending you a quick visual. Let's talk about Una's jewelry in this interview. I've just sent it to you so we can talk about it.
Where is it in my text?
Yeah.
Una's hair is put to one side.
Yeah, she's got a lovely bold red lip on.
And she's wearing one long dangly earring and a necklace, sort of Art Deco style.
Yeah, it's Art Deco meets Egyptian, again, another piece of Egyptian treasure, meets like Madonna, like a virgin, that little kind of crucifix cross. So the earring is dangling like chandelier, but then with a little kind of wheel at the bottom of it, but then there's also a cross hanging off the bottom of the wheel. So it's like a three-tiered earring. Is she wearing one in the other ear? I don't think so.
Mystery.
And that necklace truly, like we say with all the Egyptian treasures, looks like you could pull that front bit off and fit that into a sarcophagus and it would open and release the mummy.
Yeah, it's like a spell would be cast across the world. Yeah, there are actually 3 others of those necklaces, and when all 3 combine, trouble.
Resurrects the mummy.
Yeah, my gran. Oh yeah, so Molly says here that crying is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign you've been strong for too long.
Yeah, Vanessa laughs in her face.
Molly's
such the kind of gal that has that loves like an inspirational quote on Instagram, isn't she?
She'll read it and be like, oh, that's good. Girls, look at this.
They were like, oh, right.
So then they all laugh, and then they say, like one of them says, good for you, honey, you said a little joke. What are they quoting?
Oh, it's, oh shit, what is it?
It's the first Sex and the City movie.
Yes.
When they're in Mexico and Harry says something about like shitting her pants.
Yes.
And yes, Samantha's like, good for you, honey, you said a little joke.
Oh god, those gals have sat around and watched a box set of Sex and the City together, haven't they?
Oh my god, the DVDs.
Those DVDs are scratched. Scratched to high heaven. Scratched to buggery after Vanessa took them.
But remember, we know from 24/7 that they did some promo for Sex and the City 2.
Still very confused by that bit of promo.
Right, this next scene, where the fuck are we going now?
Okay, so we whoosh back to the penthouse in downtown LA. Some sad seagull cries bring us back. It's like,
I've got this scene, sofa chat in trackies.
Yeah. So Vanessa's kind of sitting on her sofa and Molly kind of trots in. Yeah, they're both in their trackies. And Vanessa's like looking upset and she's like, Molly, I just feel really silly for crying earlier. And Molly goes, no, babe. This whole time, Molly's
babe.
delicate doll hand is on Vanessa's leg with her gorgeous little doll fingers. And I was like, she's lovely.
Oh, babe. Who is Molly dating these days?
A cricket player.
Oh,
He's
okay.
very attractive.
Is he? Okay, great. Let me have a
Yeah.
look. Molly King, boyfriend, married,
Boyfriend.
boyfriend. Is he attractive?
Oh, I actually didn't look him up. I just took a complete guess. I kind of lied.
He is, but he's not. He's not a male Molly. I will say that. You know, how Molly's
Okay.
like knockout stunning.
Okay.
Like when she dated David Gandy, it was like 100%.
Well, actually, I got a text from Charlie after she listened to our first episode, and she said, "I'm glad you're covering Chasing the Stats. Love those girls." She said, "I'm an avid follower of Molly nowadays. She's on Radio 1, and she's just had a baby with that cricketer, Stuart Broad.
Stuart Broad.
She looks like she leads a very happy life." And I said, "Do you know what? She was only ever going to lead that life."
Oh, I'm happy for her. You just imagine Molly going to the cricket.
Oh, of course.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I bet she's... Oh, how many times has she taken a picture in like an oversized cricket jumper as well? Cozying up with it. I bet she lives in Twickenham, Richmond. Yeah, close to the cricket ground for Stu. And
Yeah.
but you know, I can still get into London for work.
We could just pop into the shops.
Yeah.
Do you think she ever wears like a long, sexy, oversized cricket jumper with like some heels?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, she'd look so good in that.
Oh, love her.
They should have done cricket in the video for What About Us?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I've noticed a few other things in this scene. They're both Vanessa and Molly both wearing tracksuit bottoms, aka joggers. Vanessa both in heavy makeup.
They're in
Like-
full hair and makeup.
Not just like full hair makeup, like well, I'm about to go on stage under the brightest lights of all time makeup.
Right, West End makeup.
Exactly.
Pancake.
It's quite remarkable. I mean, they look amazing.
Yeah.
But it is remarkable. Vanessa's wearing a t-shirt that says Capulet. I mean, she must love Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, of course.
And what I did not enjoy about this scene is that it seems like Vanessa's doing a lot of self-blaming.
Yeah. No, for sure. She's like, "Oh, you know me, I get it all pent up and then I explode, all this stuff." I'm like, well, yeah, let's put some of the blame onto
Yeah. Gaz is like not understanding time zones and the
Yeah.
fact that you're a busy working pop star.
Yeah.
Also noted, Vanessa, she has an L-shape sofa.
at the slap in the face for Frankie.
Exactly.
So
Right.
we transition to night, and we have one of the fakest scenes so far in the show, which is Rochelle's in her room and she calls Vanessa, tells her to come over because she said that the couple next door are having sex again, and they actually have the audacity to include fake sex noises. And I was like, this is not good. And then, so they come over, Vanessa comes over and they're kind of giggling, and then she starts banging on the wall, and I put, Vanessa's fun, isn't she?
It's like, shut up!
And then this whole scene was boring, so I wrote this note to myself: bless these boring gals. And I said, I'll say it every episode, Rochelle is a stunning human being.
She really is.
I stopped listening, I was just admiring how she's stunning. And then I was looking at Instagram, and I watched a video of her getting her nails done, like a really close-up video of her nails being done. And it was beautiful. And then I watched another video of her doing she's like getting ready, and then it was all these like quick shots of her going to her office for her like children's, she owns like a children's kind of she has a range at Boots, and it's all for like sensitive like skin for kids stuff. And I just watched her in her office, and I just was so happy for her. Then she showed her getting home and lighting like a candle, and I just thought, do you know what, she's really living life, and I'm really proud of her.
Well, look, she's living life. Molly's with the cricketer, happy, wearing that oversized jumper. Una's in that throuple.
Yep.
So how are Frankie and Vanessa doing?
Frankie's doing good. Actually, Vanessa's the one I know the least about.
What's Frankie up to?
She is a Loose Women panelist.
Is she?
Yeah, she's like a rotating one of the
Good
Loose
for
Women
her.
panelists.
And I bet she probably like draws on her mental health as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good.
But I'm not sure about Vanessa. She's a real wild card, that one.
Okay. What have we got next? Well, we've got day 2.
Well, now we're going to the actual day 2 of the video shoot. So we're really going through the quantum time leap here to get back to day 2 of the video.
The gals are in hair and makeup. I noticed that a lot of makeup is being applied to someone's neck. It's like neck powder is being splashed on.
Peter Lorraine's in a lovely kind of Breton stripe t-shirt, which I also noticed Molly was also wearing. I think that's his other uniform of choice. He's either in a check shirt or a nice Breton stripe, Peter Lorraine.
Love it.
And he's just basically very world weary, saying, "Come on, girls, it's time to get moving again."
I took a picture of someone's getting I think it's Rochelle's getting her hair and makeup done. Look at the ring or rings that the makeup artist is wearing.
Oh,
Can you describe that to me?
It looks like almost like a knuckle duster of engagement rings.
Yeah.
It looks like engagement rings, but the diamonds are between the fingers.
Yeah, it's very high concept.
Like a very edgy engagement knuckle duster.
It's a little unsettling.
Yeah, it looks
know
like
what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like they're floating.
Exactly. I'm a bit like, whoa, I don't know what's happening.
What a glamorous way to punch someone in the face if that is a knuckle duster.
With diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's very you, actually.
Yeah.
So we go off to a location that can't be in the valley. Oh, I looked it up. House of Billiards. It's in Sherman Oaks.
Sherman Oaks. I wrote House of Billiards - straight people.
Yeah. And the gals are playing pool with some like male dancers or extras. And I said, I love these women. They're so boring.
So you weren't there, but I was at the Eagle, our beloved gay leather bar on Sunday. And there are people playing pool. And do you know what? That pool table takes up too much space.
There's those two pool tables in the Eagle. They've got to go.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them, especially that one in the outside area.
That was the one. So we were like a crowd of us were like standing, them friends of friends with them, we're all chit-chatting. And every now and again there was someone like trying to like push past. And,
Yeah.
like, people like, oh Ben, oh careful Ben. I'm like, fuck that.
Do you remember when we lived in London and we went to the Joiners? Hang on, the Joiners was the bigger place, wasn't it? Georgia Dragon was the smaller place. Went to the Joiners, and they also had pool tables that were immovable, but no one was playing pool. And do you remember you and me, like, at one point we were both very drunk and we stood at either end of the pool table and we did like a very high concept performance to Queen of the Night by Whitney Houston,
Yes.
where we were like slapping our hands onto the pool table and like I feel like we were like stalking each other around the pool table, like doing like a mirror exercise.
Yeah.
It's really one of the there's a few moments like that in our friendship, but I don't want to get too like spiritual with you, but there's definitely sometimes these moments of like cosmic alignment, and that Whitney Houston pool table performance was one where you and me really locked into each other's biorhythms.
I remember that night very clearly.
Yeah, me too. And I don't remember anything clearly from London because I was such a pisshead, to use the British term.
Pissheads.
But like that one is like dialed into my brain.
I also remember that pool table. It was always like kind of shoved to the side when the dancing started. It was a good place to put your coats underneath, or just like sneak it in,
Yeah,
or
it
like
was.
in a ball pocket or something.
Who was I talking about the Joiners with recently? Maybe it was JR. We were talking, and I was just saying about how the reason I used to drink so much, well, also because pisshead aside, was because the level of anxiety I would feel in the Joiners of just trying to do any activity outside of standing in one spot and talking to you guys. You know, when you're like, I have to get a drink, I have to go to the toilet, I have to leave, like, I have to go and have a cigarette. Everything was so difficult to do in there because it was a pub with the capacity of like 50 with like 400 people in it. I can't live like that anymore. I'm so glad I don't have to. That's why I don't even really like going to Akbar that much.
Do you remember that cash machine?
I do.
Wait, because they didn't take cash, did they? No, they didn't take cards.
No, you had to use that cash machine. I do. Yeah. Again, another step to a night at the Joiners that was very, very stressful.
Fucking cash machine. Anyway,
should we get? Oh, hang on. Let me just
back to Sherman
let me
Oaks.
get on that flight back to Sherman Oaks. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so yeah, they're shooting at the House of Billiards. Whatever, fine, great, done.
Yeah.
Then we go to the baseball field.
Yeah, and we get another Vanessa cliffhanger in this part of the episode where, you know, the specter of Gary is looming large yet again, and Vanessa's like, oh, I'm really worried about Gary, but you know, I've just really got to like focus and just get this right. I don't want to let the girls down. I was like, doing what?
Yeah.
Because when I watched the video back, she was standing by a chain link fence, like lip syncing.
I know.
I guess she's. I'm good. I just had a slight broke my own neck, like talking there.
That
Hold
was
on.
Vanessa cursing you from afar.
For sure.
Maybe it was Gary.
The curse of Gary. So
I've written here, so the gals are dancing on a baseball field at night, and I've written, it looks fun, just like dancing with friends at night outside. That's fun.
I had some concerns.
Uh-oh.
We did pan down and I saw they were wearing those scrunched pixie boots and they were wearing them on the grass, and I do worry the heel is a little too spiky.
Uh-oh.
So I think we had I think those heels were definitely had to be like wiped down afterwards, because obviously those girls are going to be wearing them again for another performance.
Well, I love how you're worried about the heels. I'm like, they essentially tore up a baseball field.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Who cares? Well, so people can't play baseball. Who cares?
All right.
I mean, I guess kids play it and kids are fine, I suppose, but I don't know, it's a little bit straight and boring.
I also wrote here that I've just realised that Una had baby girl Aoife Bell not that long ago.
No.
What, maybe like 6 weeks?
Yeah. No, she's older than Aoife Bell's older than that.
Is she?
Yeah, she's like a few months old.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
still a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they kind of essentially play like a kind of a edited together version of, or we see like a chorus of the song. Looks good.
Does look good.
Forgot about the video. I was like, everyone looks very glossy. There's a nice filter on it.
It's as glossy as this. There's this slick piece of e-programming, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely a step up from, was it Higher that we saw them shoot in 24/7? That real backlot bullshit in Higher.
That walking across the street choreo.
Yeah. Fly all the way to LA to be in a studio backlot where you could do that anywhere. They could have done that at Pinewood.
Could have done the Pinewood. Just took the Wizarding World in London. You gotta live me.
Higher was set in the Wizarding World in London. Be like, oh, but Ba-dum. I had a thought, and I haven't done my fact-checking work on this.
Okay.
Is there one single shred of evidence of a performance with the Saturdays and Sean Paul and or Flo Rida in the same place singing either What About Us or Higher?
Yes, there's definitely a What About Us on like an Alan Carr or something.
With Sean Paul.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna quickly look.
I'm calling no on it. I just feel like every time I was like looking stuff up, I couldn't see any actual. They definitely haven't ever performed Higher with Flo Rida,
Oh no.
which is such a shame because he introduces them so well.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I believe that's going to be the only performance on record of Sean Paul being in the same room as the Saturdays.
I recommended here, guys, the Saturdays Disco Love Acoustic on Sunday Brunch.
Pop it on. I want to hear it. We've got time.
Una's got her guitar.
Everybody staying alive.
It's kind of nice as an easy listening song. It's pretty good.
Mystery in here. Baby, baby, baby. When you make me feel so fine. When you make me feel so good. When you make me feel so right. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, and the love that's in the air.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, I've got a pitch
I
for
love
you.
Disco Love, by the way.
I love Disco Love.
Great song. If you're like running, it's a really fun song to
Some
run to.
great remixes as well. Okay, I've got a pitch for you.
Go for it.
So you know how I've got that fire pit outside with my new garden furniture I just assembled?
Where is this going?
Imagine we lit the fire and we were there and Una joined us with her guitar and we just sang acoustic versions of Saturday
all
songs.
of their songs. Oh my god, can we make that happen?
How much of a dreamy night would that be?
It would be very dreamy. I'd love it.
Imagine all of us singing Issues and even like All Fired Up we could do, like an acoustic version.
Up, I feel alive.
Keep me on your radar. keep me.
Okay, well, you contact Una and
Yeah.
let her know. Hi, I'm a gay man that lives in Los Angeles. I have a fire pit. We won't pay for travel, but next time you're in LA, come over and spend a whole night singing Saturday songs acoustically with us.
Bring baby girl Aoife Bell. I hear she's not a baby anymore.
Yeah, she's probably got a little mini acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. The video's done. It's a wrap.
Okay. I've written this final section back at the flats.
Yeah, we're gonna hop and a skip down the freeway back to downtown again. I know you don't know what freeway number will take you from the valley down to downtown.
101?
Correct. Finally, Ben remembered one single freeway name.
LA
in Los
freeways
Angeles.
are called like the 101, the 110, the 210, the 2. I'm like, come on, can we pick some names? It's just like all just endless combinations of numbers. I'm like, I'm not gonna remember that. I know the. Wait a minute, the 110's beside me.
Yes, and the 101's beside me.
Yeah, and I know the 134. No,
That's a bus in London.
No, the 34. What's the one that goes that? I'm on it all the time. I'm on it all the time. The 134. Wait a minute.
The 405.
No, I don't. I never get that. 134 freeway. Yeah, the Ventura Freeway. It's just thank you.
It just makes me laugh that it's a real blind spot for you because it's something I would expect you to know. It just doesn't feel very you that you haven't committed them to memory.
Can't be bothered.
So we popped on the 101 back down from the valley, and we're gonna get our regular thing, which I've realized we're gonna get on this show, which is an incredibly fake closing scene.
Mm-hmm.
This one's pretty good. So Vanessa's standing at the island in her kitchen. Vanessa's got the nicest apartment. I stand by this. So what's going on here?
Okay,
Get on
so
the blower.
Vanessa gets an email from Gary. And do you know what? It's got a picture attachment, which is displayed in our heavy MacBook Pro. It's a picture of a vintage jacket with their name on it.
Did you transcribe the email from Gary?
No, did you?
Yeah, I'm guessing he's actually from Essex, so I'm going to do it like in an Essex accent.
Well done.
Ness, so sorry we keep missing each other. I got you a present. XO, Gary. Very to the point.
Ness.
Ness, Gary.
Ness, Gary, jacket.
3 XOs as well. Unusual to do an XO. It's usually just X's in the UK, isn't it? Anyway.
Maybe he's watching Gossip Girl.
And then that's when I thought that it was over. It's not over.
Do you know what? It's not over until the Skype call rings.
Oh,
hang on.
Have you ever heard the like remix of the Skype theme that's like it's like a house, like a remix? Hang on, it's really good. Hang on, let's let the beat drop.
It's really building.
What you doing to my head? Anyway, that's the Skype remix, and who's there?
It's bloody Marvin.
It is.
It's Marvin at 7 a.m. back home.
Yeah, so we're gonna get a fun scene where Marvin is topless and Rochelle's in what he describes as sexy lingerie, but I think looks like a Minnie Mouse bra that you'd buy from Disneyland, from the Minnie Mouse collection.
I've just written, what an attractive couple.
Yes, I actually said, and also I said, Marvin is so handsome but not sexy to me.
Yes.
I completely appreciate his whole thing, but I don't find him sexy. But I did say here that of all the people, again, of all the players in this troupe to pull off one of the button fake comedy scenes, I do feel in the best hands with these two.
Yeah, because we should say that Rochelle is in bed. She's Skype. It's late, so it's 11 p.m. if it's 7 a.m. back home.
Yeah.
And she's saying, oh, yeah, the couple are having sex again. Neighbors are banging. Marvin essentially just ignores
Yeah.
everything that's being said
Yeah.
and just talks about something else. But yeah, Rochelle says, are you naked? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, and they talk about her cleavage and the Minnie Mouse bra, and then
she says, I love you, you're pervish. Pervish. Oh,
good for them.
good, nice. So we see on next time, Rochelle and Marvin buy a house, another Skype call.
Yes.
And Marvin's like, we got the house.
Yes.
So I then looked up the house and I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole because in 2019, they looks like they live now in a very lovely house near a house that Rod Stewart owns.
Okay.
And they tried to get planning permission to like convert the garage.
Right.
You know?
Well, they have like a party room in their house because during in 2020, Marvin would do like DJ, like Instagram live DJ sets, and the two of them would. It was like after the kids had gone to bed, and like she'd have like a glass of wine, and he'd like DJ like fun JLS and like pop songs on the Saturdays. And
That's
she like kind of
fun.
danced next to him and like was a hype woman.
That's
And,
great.
Yeah, they genuinely seemed like they were having a really good time. And that it has like, I think it has like disco lights in it, and we got the disco lights. Marvin's on the decks and the kids are in bed.
Bet they did a lovely party around theirs.
What an episode.
I know. What an episode of nothing.
So we've got our twofold rating system. We've got the hashtag system.
Okay, my hashtags that I'll pitch to you, hashtag Skype, and my other hashtag, hashtag Rochelle Pat Ribena.
I've just got one.
What's it?
Hashtag Gary.
Hashtag Gary. But I don't want Gary to be the focus. Hashtag Gary in the Blackberry. Gary in the Blackberry.
Yeah.
Imagine a children's story. Gary in the Blackberry.
My God, we have lost our minds. We are recording this much later than we normally would.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do Gary and the Blackberry.
Gary and the Blackberry.
Because, like I said, I don't want him to be the complete star.
And then in a clunky transition, we are also rating these episodes out of
God.
5. And remember the rating system?
Yeah.
It's 5 somethings, different men that are mentioned in the rap section of the song Gentleman by the Saturdays.
Maybe you could just drop a little section of that in there.
I will.
I need to find my Obama. I need a Jonas brother. And how about a Denzel Washington? I need a Killer Lex and a Channing Tatum. Throw them my way, I date them.
And today we're going to be rating this episode out of Kellen Lutz's.
Oh, Kellen Lutz's.
So how many Kellen Lutz's out of 5 do you give this episode?
So the previous episode we gave three Larry Kings
3.5. Yeah, I think we leveled out at 3.5.
No, we left it at 3.
Well,
You
yes,
did 3
you're
out
right.
of shape. So
Yeah.
3 Larry Kings.
3 Larry Kings for episode 1.
So this Kellen Lutz's, I think it's probably a 3 again.
I'm actually going to say I think this one was a 3.5.
Oh.
Because we had a little more realness from Vanessa, and I enjoyed that part of it.
Okay, I'm going to upgrade it.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed the Skype calls. I enjoyed the Ribena. I enjoyed the realness. So yeah.
Yeah, 3.5 Kellen Lutz's for this episode.
Okay, done and done. Right, you're going to be getting an episode of this every week. They're 10,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Chasing the Saturdays every week on the Iraq America podcast feed. But don't worry. Do not worry, because I know some of you are worried. Your Welcome America, the regular episodes will be out every other week.
Yes. Anyway, thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
I go by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13. I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.